Here we are, guys, going to Tungabhadra Dam. Driving out to Tungabhadra Dam, and to get out of our great Bangalore, it took me 2 hours, and I had to cover about 90 kilometers just in the city. And we are on the way, and then there is this garbage truck right up front spilling all the juices of the garbage on the road. I have my sympathies to the two-wheeler riders, especially when I'm in the car. I have a lot of sympathy to them, but just look at the shit. And always try to get off quickly from the city. The earlier the better. You avoid all the garbage trucks, and if in case you see a garbage truck in front of you, try to overtake it as soon as possible and get your ass out of the stench. And we are on our way. More updates when we reach the highway, proper highway. This is kind of a suburban highway, but then I'll record once we are properly out there in the open. So here we are, guys, at the Nellamangala toll. It took us 2 hours and 10 minutes to reach this place from the heart of the city, and finally we are on our way to the Tungabhadra Dam. Right here, waiting at the toll, looking at some beautiful bushes with chappals, some worn out chappals thrown in. The Nellamangala toll, that is. This arm is pretty robotic and lively. Has a bounce to it, pretty good. Right. And off we go. Just cruising, and I'm not really in a mood to speed and drive spiritedly. Oh, here you see another Ignis, for all you Ignis fans, where they have a negative offset wheels fitted in, and the wheels probably are rubbing against the arches out there. Interesting. So what I was trying to say is that I'm not really in a mood to drive spiritedly. It's going to be a relaxed ride, a pretty relaxed ride. I'll maintain speeds of around 100, 120 as it will possible, and we'll see, and we'll reach the destination in one piece and peacefully. That's what I intend to do. So this is the Tumkur Road, the Bangalore Tumkur Road, busy as always, narrow, crowded, and a lot of variables that one can see. A lot of variables on these roads, people coming from all the directions. They don't just care about anything. They all live for the day. There are dogs, cows, tractors, auto rickshaws. Except for planes, there's everything out here. Except for a plane and a ship, there's everything out here on the road. And they're coming in all directions. Most of these trucks, they don't have a number board. Even if they have, it's probably covered in dust and mud and slush. Even the one in front doesn't have a number board. Forget about number boards, they don't even have a light. Just imagine the plight of people who are riding or driving in the night, and then the rear side of this is totally covered up. Rear side of the truck is totally covered up in gunk, and then they are invisible. what the hell do you do? And plus they park dangerously at times anywhere they want. Okay, they just park it and then they become news in the newspaper the next day. That's how bad it is. Nobody gives a damn. And look at this hero, he is riding in the Tumkur highway amongst all of this chaos with his original head. No helmet needed. There are a few professional probably trucks that maintain cleanliness on the rear side, especially the brake lights, and the number boards are well visible, etc. But they're dime a dozen. They're just dime a dozen. So I'm maintaining around 80 kilometers per hour, 80 to 100 kilometers per hour with the air conditioning on. Okay, the air conditioning is in number one and it isn't on. And these auto rickshaw, I have no clue why they risk themselves like this, going on the opposite directions, man. Shit. Anyway, yeah. So let's see the kind of mileage we get, the kind of fuel economy we get. Let's check it out. This road, National Highway after Tumkur, is a bit patchy. A bit patchy. It's 9:47 a.m. in the morning, having covered 145 kilometers far away from Bangalore. I'm still finding myself in the potholes of the National Highway. A bit patchy, I say. Quite a bit patchy. Quite a bit patchy. Patchy. Careful, because the players are playing themselves against the patches, the potholes, and they would forget that there are other people on the road. Got to be careful. And here is a smoke machine trying to camouflage itself with the black smoke for some reason. I don't know why it wants to camouflage itself. It's not in the battlefield like a tank, but then it's doing it. Watch out for the patches. Watch out for people around you who are also weaving through the patches. Let's take a look at the boards out there. Chitradurga is 128 kilometers, and that is where we need to take a right turn towards the Tungabhadra Dam. So finally some relief in terms of the highway and some cruisable space. Space is what it's all about, and I get to cruise at around 100, 120 sometimes on these roads. I'm hoping it will be the same case till Chitradurga, and after that I take a right turn, and that should be it. Still a bit patchy, as you can see, but then and these fuckers trying to just cut you through. Unique needs, unique requirements. People want a U-turn, they want to slide, they want a donut. God, man, the kind of requirements these guys have. Pretty decent cruising at around 100, 120. Anything above 120, you don't feel that confident in this car. it feels a bit unnerving, if I may say. You don't really have that kind of a confidence on the highway that you get from a Volkswagen or maybe maybe a different car with a better aerodynamics. But then this is what it's made for. It's a city car. It's an urban cruiser, as you call it. So you gotta maintain these kind of speeds, 100, 120, and that's it. Be safe. Anything over about that, you better pray. Okay, it's like pushing your luck, or pushing your envelope, pushing the envelope. Yeah. Just cruising. So at these speeds of 120 and above, see, the main problem that I face is with the steering, in the sense, okay, the steering has weighed up quite a bit, but then there is this kind of a communication between the tires and the steering column, and then you feel what kind of a grip it has to offer, and you don't really feel that great because it has a slight floaty feeling. See, it might be due to various reasons, maybe the wheel alignment, maybe the wheel balancing, and to the extent that it is running on stock tires, right? The stock tires are thin enough for the sake of fuel efficiency, and then those weigh in too. If in case I had lowered the springs, widened the tire, maybe wrapped it with something, maybe around 215 R15, 260 R15 or something like that, things would have slightly improved. And then it again boils down to the chassis and the capability of the chassis to handle this kind of a wind blast and the aerodynamics, all of those things kicking. But then the major factor that actually is not a confidence inspiring thing is the way it feels in the steering wheel. At least for me, there are some maybe some great guys, some fools, some amazing guys who can handle this kind of shit from the steering. So I feel a kind of vague vibrations. So on the steering wheel at these speeds, you see. So all the factors that I listed in: wheel balancing, wheel alignment, and then certain aspects where the wheel itself is very thin to handle this kind of speed and so on. All of those things weigh in when it comes to the high-speed feel of a car. Finally, the highway looks like a highway. Nice and sunny, wide, open roads, except for a few vehicles and a very tiny bit of traffic. It looks like a highway. And me cruising at these speeds, as usual. And one thing you guys will have to watch out for is the divider and the bushes in the divider. And they hide cows and buffaloes and goats and whatnot, and even people, for all you care. Be very careful because the grass on the dividers are quite tall, and then I have no valid reason to understand why these farmers risk everything, or maybe the animals themselves, they go wild and then they just go into the divider and start eating, and suddenly they decide to cross the road and bang. Right? So many instances of these things happening. So one has to be very careful when you are driving through very grassy and green and lush dividers out here, because they can be hiding a lot of things that can surprise you, not in a very pleasant way, that is. So pay attention to that. So as a thumb rule for avoiding things popping out of the divider and surprising you, what I would say is maintain the middle lane in a 3-lane highway, or maybe the outer lane in a in a 6-lane highway, maintain the middle lane of your direction, and in a 4-lane highway, maintain the outermost on the left-hand side, most lane, and then just watch out if in case you feel there's any sort of a movement behind the bushes of the divider. You have to control your speed. You have to be alerted, more alerted than you already are, that is. And that is how, that's the best you could do. If any of you smarties have any other suggestions, why don't you just put it out there in the comment section. For now, the bushes look pretty empty without cows, but there is one here. This one is tied and on the pavement out there, but then you never know what's lurking behind these bushes, so keep that in mind. This guy seems to be carrying some sand on his footboard for some reason. I don't know why he's doing that. Well, a lot of peculiar things you get to see on the roads nowadays, you see. Really peculiar things. Took a small break to help alleviate or avoid road hypnosis. So I bought this bingo chips. Let's see what it has to offer inside. Oh, apparently it is a packet of air with complimentary chips. So 5 rupees packet of air, packaged air with some complimentary chips. Let's get going, guys. Next stop Chitradurga, and then we take a right turn towards the western part of Karnataka. This is the windy belt of this stretch from Bangalore to Goa, that is. Usually there's a road we take, and then no wonder there are so many windmills out here, because it's very windy, and then I can literally feel the wind gushing through the A pillar and the B pillars of the car, especially because this is not a very aerodynamically built one. This is a city car after all, but I can feel the wind gushing through in the sense I can hear it. I can hear the wind gushing through the surface of the car, the body of the car, that is. And that's enormous. Aerodynamics plays a very, very vital role in any automobile. That's what I wanted to say. Nobody says Panjim, Goa. Goa is Goa. It's as if it's a city. As if Goa is a city. Goa is a state, man. Who the hell puts boards saying Tamil Nadu 500 kilometers, Nagaland 50 kilometers?
In 800 meters, take the ramp to National Highway 50.
Okay, man. a state. Talk about the cities in that state: Panjim, Margao, Vasco da Gama, whatnot.
Take the ramp to National Highway 50.
Okay, man. Okay. And we have here a difficult situation, especially with this thing. Especially with this thing turning around. This seems to be quite a intricate move for the bus driver. There is this huge wing and then you're stuck behind it. That's it. You're just simply stuck behind it. And it's taking the whole of the curve, the entire length of this trailer.
In 300 meters, merge with National Highway 50.
Okay, ma'am. Will do. Taxi driver, as usual, always in a hurry. He wants to be first, so I let him be. So I just let him go. While we are here, let's take a glimpse at Chitradurga. Chitradurga, the city of Durgas, meaning there are a lot of small hillocks, and then there are a lot of fortresses out there on those hills. So what you see in front of you is Chitradurga, and what we see here is a huge fin of a windmill being carried by a trailer and hogging the whole of the road. This is a wider view, wide angle view, and this is how it looks. Well, let me put it this way. This is not a part of a windmill. It's a wind turbine. Yeah, a windmill was for the yesteryears, where you used to mill something out of it. But here we produce electricity, apparently. Yeah, so this is a wind turbine thing. A lot of other wind turbines have already been commissioned and they're functioning out here. So finally, I think we are getting to an end of this huge pile up out here because of this particular thing, and then there is an overhang out here, and let's see if it just missed it. Good, pretty good driving, man. Pretty neat. Just hope it does not get stuck below that flyover. Still cannot overtake this truck because it is hogging in the whole of the highway too already. So just waiting for it to come out to the side. Our taxi friends are raring to go. They're itching to go, in fact. There's already one Innova taxi guy breathing down my neck here. So, or rather, we got it in. So, sorry guys.
Continue on National Highway 50 for 126 kilometers.
So we are on this road towards Hosapete, or Hosapete. The road seems pretty decent. In fact, sometimes it's a 6-lane or 4-lane with a healthy divider in between. Pretty good. Very less traffic. Something that's amazing to see. And then, yeah, pretty decent, I would say. Very different from the regular road from Bangalore to Goa. And apparently it does also go into Solapur from this road. I never knew about that. Yeah. Halli. Nice names to read. Very peculiar and nice names, as you can see. Kudligi and so on. Yeah. And out here you see the Tufan, the most popular form of transport in northern Karnataka. They fit in around 15 people in there, minimum, I would say. And then they just cruise like the Tufan. I had once sat in that vehicle and I felt claustrophobic because the roof is too low and then you had to hunch and so on. Damn, man, I really have a lot of regards for these guys, especially these rural travelers. Really great. Really great. They're really great. The way they travel, just they get in and then they just huddle in and then start traveling. Wow, amazing. You must count your blessings in terms of what you were able to afford and drive in, you see. One must do that, and especially after seeing these kind of situations where people just huddle in like cattle and travel to play from point A to B in a very uncomfortable manner. Hats off to them. The windmills continue to span across this land out here. A lot of windmills out here. A lot of them can be seen after each kilometer across this area. I just thought of stopping at this toll and then taking a small clip of this place because it seems so vast. I mean, you can see kilometers together out there. And this is my car right next to a windmill. We have Way Bridge and hardly any people out here. Pretty neat, eh? This is a small break I took, and this is the best part about traveling solo. You can stop wherever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And I found this beautiful sunflower field and felt mesmerized by it. How often do I get to see this in the city? Huh? Yeah, so I just decided short break and enjoy the view of this field, that is. I wish I had a better vantage point. This is pretty okay. So let me just show you around a little bit and also take the Ignis in. A lot of windmills out here. Once again, wind turbines that produce electricity, and this is how it looks. Yeah, quite a looker, isn't it? It's quite a looker, my car. And by the virtue of enjoying the views and parking at certain places, you guys had to watch out for certain things. They do come at a price, in the sense what you see in front of you is a thorn bush, and these are not some ordinary thorns. They can pierce through your tires, okay? Such way you're treading through your wheels, so drive carefully. Yeah, and off we go. And here we continue towards the Tungabhadra Dam, and after that eventually we go to Hampi. And the road's pretty good so far, nothing to complain about. And you get to see these fins being carried of these wind turbines quite often often. These are mobile temples that you see out there. And then just continue. A few buffaloes and cows out here, but they don't seem very threatening. They are minding their own business, grazing way back inside the fields, so that way it's fine. Except that you find some of these village riders who can sometimes be a pain in the you know where. Yeah, they don't seem to be aware of their surroundings. So all he has is a bit of a scarf to protect his ears, that's it. And then of course, as usual, since I spoke about it, there are a lot of squids on the road too. So in India, in our country, basically, I think we should never speak too soon. You know what I wanted to say is that even though you bitch and moan and whine about the Ignis, after 120 it is unstable in the sense it's not confidence inspiring as such, and then a lot of wind noise because it's not aerodynamic, etc, etc, etc. I'll tell you what, bloody it gets you from point A to B in one piece and in comfort. Okay, you don't have a headache, you don't have a body ache, nothing. Of course the seats are a bit too soft for my liking, but then if you take enough brakes, sufficient brakes, you reach from point A to point B without any hassles, man. And at a pretty good fuel efficiency too. I mean, a pretty good costing too. In fact, let us calculate that at a later point of time when you get to see it. So there's nothing major to complain about. Of course, oh yeah, you would have loved that Volkswagen or maybe a German car road grip, the handling, the feedback, etc, etc. But if you're just commuting, if you're just using it for mobility from point A to B, there's nothing to complain about. Okay, the purist in me always keeps bitching and moaning about a lot of these things during the travel, during the course of the ride or the drive. But then it serves its purpose well, man. There's no big deal. Okay. So I just want to make that point out here. For you guys to understand that, right? It's a great product, no matter what. It's a great product. It serves its purpose. Okay, it's holds itself good. Service costs are low, and what else do you need? You have service everywhere. Okay, and it does its job. That's it. Simple as that. So sometimes I need to tell myself to shut the F up and just drive. Yeah. Now we are almost 5 hours or close to 6 hours of driving from Bangalore, and it's around 12:45 in the afternoon. It's lunchtime, and we see that we have entered a pretty much of a forest area. You could also see some rolling hills out there, pretty decent. We are around 40 kilometers from Hosapete, right? So we're getting close to Tungabhadra Dam. Like one says, we speak too soon in India. So from here onwards, I just did see a buffalo cross across rapidly, and thankfully it was way ahead of the vantage point, so I was able to control and get the car out to safety. You gotta be careful in these roads from here onwards, because it's gonna be filled with these buffaloes and cows crossing through. You can see a lot of cattle on there, and They even have the farmers or the shepherds or whoever it is that is along with them. But then you never know if when the mood of the cow changes and it wants to cross across the road and suddenly shoot across. Okay, so you gotta be very careful, watch out for these. You gotta be high alert as soon as you notice these kind of harkats happening on the road. Right. Since I've changed, since I've downgraded from a flagship phone to the normal phone that I'm using, the Samsung normal phone, or maybe an entry-level phone, I was not able to open up the camera on time, and I missed that particular shot that I wanted to show you guys so badly. The shot of the the buffalo suddenly jumping across the divider and just running through towards the curb. So anyway, I'm just trying to do whatever I can do with the kind of hardware I have as of now. So just trying to cover as much as possible. That's it. You see a couple of hills out there. I think that is the catchment area of the Tungabhadra Dam. You're pretty close by. Should be around 30 to 20 kilometers. Yeah, maybe 30-35 kilometers. That's how far the Tungabhadra Dam is from here. So let's see. Just stopped over at a restaurant called the Mini Punjab. I always like to keep my car in the line of sight and then enjoy some meals. I'm sitting and then it's almost 1 o'clock, so felt a bit hungry and thought of having the lunch out here. Should be fine. So just had my lunch at a dhaba and just costed me 150 bucks. It was called as Mini Punjab, and these dhabas are such a blessing in the highways. I tell you, fresh piping hot dal and fresh tandoor roti. Take my advice, if you may, dal and roti, that's the best thing to go for when you're traveling, especially in the dhabas. Okay, if you order something exotic, you might end up with an exotic bug. So better order what is a fast running meal out there. Whatever is fast running, as far as I know, that is dal and then roti. Simple as that. But if you order something exotic and then you experiment, these guys, they don't know. I mean, how often do they make something exotic and then you have an exotic bug? You need to go to an exotic hospital, right? So, well, sorry for putting it that way, but then my advice is stick with the basics, keep it simple. That's it. Rest is up to you. Now we are close to 6 hours and 20 minutes in this voyage from Bangalore, and we are already seeing something different. I mean, something different from Bangalore, of course. Hospet is just 15 kilometers from here, and the Tungabhadra Dam is around 20 kilometers from here, and that's it. Pretty soon we will be viewing the beautiful, the enormous, the vast Tungabhadra Dam. And then we are entering some sort of a tunnel system out here. And the truckers suddenly have gone crazy. I don't know for what reason. They got rabid. The truckers out here, they got rabid. All of a sudden they want to go fast. I don't know why. At the end of the tunnel. Nice. Well, the camera is not able to do justice to what I was able to see with the naked eye, but then you get the idea. Yeah. So you go right and you go to Hospet, and you go straight, you go to the Tungabhadra Dam. Pretty nice place. with small hills, and I don't know if this adds to the beauty, the turbines, and then of course you have the cows grazing through, posing a potential threat to the drivers, so you better pay attention to the road. Here you go. This is the Tungabhadra Dam. Out there, the gates are open, and we are here. This is where we drove to, and next we go to Hampi. I'm grouping up with a couple of friends of mine, so we'll take it from there. Tungabhadra Dam.
Sir, I've come to this place. ಅವಾಗ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೊಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ಫೋಟೋ
This is a small garden near the Tungabhadra Dam. Tungabhadra Dam catchment area. Just for you guys to see. You can see some birds of prey fishing, and this is how full the water is out here. Beautiful. One can see a lot of bats flying around. Batman! Bats hanging from the Ashoka trees out here at the Tungabhadra Dam's reservoir. Batman! Big ones, big size bats. And this is Shri Tirumalai Iyengar, BEMIE, Madras PWD. Executive engineer. Who probably helped build this dam. There we go. So we came in a bit late, and then this is what we could see, but the lighting is pretty neat. Tungabhadra Dam.